Okay, we've got to talk about Lue Elizondo's book, Imminent, and a whole lot more, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I'll talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, so we have some excerpts from the upcoming interview with Ross Coulthart. Let's give a listen.
The United States has been involved in the recovery of objects, vehicles of unknown origin that are neither from our country or any other foreign country that we're aware of.
Alien bodies, biologics.
We as a nation have been interested in not only the vehicles themselves, but the occupants of these vehicles, to include biological specimens.
Alien.
There you go. So yeah, there are aliens. We have alien buddies, y'all. According to Lue Elizondo, he's probably not going to get into live aliens or living aliens interacting with humans, but we know that he knows at least some of that. He has become friends of Terry Lovelace, who was abducted, taken aboard a giant UFO, bigger on the inside than it was on the outside, and it was already pretty big on the outside. Were humans, human military types, were assisting in a group abduction, working alongside many, many non-humans. So, yeah, Lue knows this guy. They become friends. He says Terry Lovelace is credible. So, Lue knows some of the deeper stuff, but he never talks about it publicly. And so far in the book, Imminent, I haven't seen him talk about any of that deeper stuff either. And I wouldn't expect him to. You've got to acclimate people slowly to this stuff. You know, let's talk about ships, let's talk about recoveries, let's talk about bodies. Then later we can get into the weird stuff. But either way, I'm really looking forward to that interview. Who knows, maybe Lue will slip up and reveal something really juicy. But he did write an article for Newsweek. And this was really interesting because there's some things in here that he's clarifying and enlarging upon that, you know, I thought was really intriguing. One of those is that he is no longer taking credit for being the sole director of AATIP. He says, I worked in this capacity for some time, eventually becoming one of its key members. Although I had my own staff, it's important to note that I didn't run the program entirely on my own. I work with a broader network of experts and colleagues, including individuals like Dr. James Lakatsky, who originally led AATIP, and Jay Stratton, who took over after I resigned from AATIP in 2017. Although I had direct subordinates, I also worked alongside my colleagues like Jay, who were my equals. So yeah, really interesting that he is drawing this distinction from his previous comments, where he seems to have, you know, assumed the sole directorship of AATIP. But now a different story, or a possibly a more comprehensive story, is emerging, where indeed he shared the directorship of Arrow with Jay Stratton, and it seems like James Lakatsky as well. So really interesting. I don't know the ins and outs of that, you know, what behind the scenes stuff led to that. I heard there might have been a falling out between Jay Stratton and Lue Elizondo, but that was spread by Stephen Greenstreet, who of course is going to spread stuff like that. So, you know, who knows what the truth is, but I hope they're still friends, and I hope they're still working together, and I am very curious if Jay Stratton comes out publicly talking about any of this. But meanwhile, there's a lot more going on. John Bell from Real Florida UFO continues to get amazing captures, guys. It's just really incredible, the sorts of things that he gets just nightly. Okay, we just saw a bat fly by, so none of these objects we're seeing are bats. Now we're seeing these little phantasmal orbs float around him that are not bugs or bats. We've just seen what a bat looks like. And some of these orbs are so solid that they can actually strike his truck. They look like they're see-through wisps or phantoms, but they actually have shape. But look at these. Look at these objects. They're just, you know, just flying around kind of playfully around him while he's tracking this object higher in the sky. We have all these various little objects that are just seeming to come out for him and apparently want to be captured on camera. Look at that thing. That's just incredible, guys. I love it. John gets such amazing contacts nightly. And I encourage everybody to go check out his channel, Real Florida UFO. And of course, I'll link to it below. Just amazing stuff, guys. Just a truly amazing stuff. Yeah, speaking of orbs, this was a really juicy orb that I saw on Twitter. Check this out. I've never seen such a large orb so clearly for such a long time, where you can clearly see the kind of the shapes inside this thing. And it's, you know, it's almost not even perfectly spherical, or at least, you know, it looks like there's like a little divot there. Of course, that's probably just the coloration or the, you know, texture on it, because, you know, it all does seem like of a piece. But really, really interesting. Trying to make sense of these interesting shapes in that object. But what is this thing? Is this a spirit? Is that what we're looking at? Is this otherworldly technologies or other dimensional technology? Is this object coming from some other realm of existence? Could it be a vehicle, some sort of other dimensional vehicle housing a being or even a soul? Let me know what you think about this incredible object in the comments below. Meanwhile, the Air Force is going to mass air power in the Western Pacific from all over the place to test its ability to get forces into a fight. This is from MSN. The U.S. Air Force is planning a large-scale exercise focused on quickly building up air power in the Western Pacific, a top general shared recently. The plan reflects the service's concerns over readiness for a potential conflict against an adversary like China. Now, that is very alarming and very concerning, but the gentleman who sent me this, Dennis, who always sends me great stuff, makes this comment: expect to see UFOs at this event. And of course he's right. You know, UFOs love to show up at stuff like this. I mean, just like the Nimitz, they were gearing up for an exercise. Boom, UFOs for a whole week. Potentially 100 of these objects or more. So what will we see in this this mass air power event from the Air Force? And if they do see anything, are they going to share it with us? But I, you know, would place money on the idea that there are going to be UFOs that show up for this event. You guarantee it, guys. Guarantee it. Check this out. Also from MSN, new research suggests warp drives could revolutionize military space travel. What? And a breakthrough that could be the future of military space. Researchers have taken a big leap toward developing an operational warp drive, something that has been isolated to date within the realm of science fiction. A team of physicists from the University of Alabama in Huntsville, together with the Advanced Propulsion Laboratory at Applied Physics in New York, developed a new model making warp drives possible without negative energy. In their paper published in the journal Classical and Quantum Gravity, the researchers describe a new advanced blending of traditional and novel gravitational techniques for the creation of a warp bubble that will facilitate the transportation of objects at high yet still subliminal speeds. This is really interesting because Lue Elizondo is now talking about bubbles, right? You know, different craft have different bubbles, and there's different bubbles around the lights. Really interesting, and it kind of ties in with Bob Lazar's information about, you know, if there's a saucer with the 3 nodes on the bottom, each one of those is interacting with gravity and creating, you know, the warp drive effect, I suppose, to use that term. So really interesting that this idea of bubbles is coming out. Really interesting that MSN is covering warp drive technology. The mainstream's media, their engagement in this topic really seems to suggest that there is a disclosure process going on. The establishment, or some part of the establishment, is pushing disclosure, and that is why we have the mainstream press covering things like warp drive. Also really interesting if they can get this technology to work. And if they're just admitting to getting this technology to work now, how long have they actually had it working, guys? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Meanwhile, we've been hearing a lot of people say these days, well, UFOs are demonic or even angelic. So what do the religious people think about this? How does that enter into the conversation? Well, as it happens, religious people are thinking about this. From premierchristianity.com, evidence for UFOs is mounting, but some Christians worry they're demonic. How can we discern the truth? Would the proven existence of life elsewhere in the universe pose a threat to Christian faith, as many fear? Not at all. I agree with other scholars and theologians who believe that no core doctrine would be undermined. The discovery of life beyond this planet would not threaten the truth of Christianity. It could even be an opportunity for the church to glory in the fact that the choir which praises the Creator is much larger than any of us had imagined. So there you go. We have mainstream media talking about warp drives. We have a Christian website talking about how UFOs do not conflict with Christianity. We're definitely seeing a pro-disclosure, pro-transparency trend here. You know, there's forces going on that are pushing toward disclosure, and elements of our society are responding and adapting to it. We really are living in the age of UFO disclosure, guys, and it all began with a man named Lue Elizondo, and also a place called Skinwalker Ranch in the government's investigation of that spooky place. Speaking of spooky stuff, check this out, guys. This is insane. Jay Anderson, don't worry about the mock human sacrifice at the Shiva statue courtyard at CERN, the Genova Particle Physics Research Complex. Just kids having fun? What? Okay, this is insane, guys. A fake ritual killing filmed in a courtyard at CERN, the Geneva Particle Physics Research Complex, has prompted an investigation. A spokeswoman suggested users of the facility had let their humor go too far and warned of the potential misunderstandings about the scientific nature of our research. What? Yeah, so are these pranking scientists? Or is something else going on here, guys? We've got the talk of portals opening up at CERN, and now we have mock human sacrifice going on. What's going on, guys? What the hell, guys? You know what we need is a positive message from Whitley Strieber. So let's end on this positive message. Whitley Strieber says, I love us so much. I want us to succeed in our planet and stabilize it so that we can grow into the greatness that I believe is our destiny and become a cosmic species at last. That's a beautiful message, Whitley. I wholeheartedly agree. I love it. That's why I love Whitley. He is just awesome, and he has these profound insights. I highly encourage his recent books like A New World. Really, really beautiful stuff. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure to appreciate it. Smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below. I really would appreciate that. I'm also a novelist. If you like fantasy and sci-fi and horror novels, you might want to check out some of my books. Check out the link below, or you can become a channel member, because channel members are rock stars, much like these road rage Muppets here, and they often get to see videos hours before they come out. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.